Paris brought in the new year with a stunning firework display, witnessed by scores of excited onlookers surrounding the iconic Arc de Triomphe and nestles along the Champs-Élysées. Also in the crowd was Arise News international correspondent Adefemi Akinsanya, who brings us updates from the crossover into this very new year, 2025.
Well, a very warm welcome to you all. Welcome to the Arise News New Year's Eve special. We are live in Paris, the French capital. We are stood on Champs-Élysées. You got the iconic Arc de Triomphe behind me, and Whitney Houston is playing in the background. We are just a few moments away from bringing in the new year. 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Welcome, welcome, welcome. What a beautiful spectacle it is. What a beautiful spectacle it is. We are bringing in 2025 and it is such an honor to be here. Look at all of the excitement. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! From the Philippines.
Well, as you can imagine, there are lots of tourists. We are not the only visitors here this time. Lots of people from the Philippines, from the Middle East, from across Europe, and of course Africa too. We've come all the way from Nigeria to see how the Parisians, how the French are bringing in the new year. And as you can see, they are bringing it in with style. With a beautiful fireworks display you can see behind us. There are thousands, tens of thousands of people littered along the streets here. A young family out to celebrate the year. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Are you guys from France or have you traveled to Paris?
I'm from France.
Happy New Year! What a blessing! This is your family?
Yes, my family. My children.
Hello, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Oh, thank you so much. This is your brother?
Oui.
What's his name?
Comment il s'appelle?
It's Amir.
Amir.
Oh, wow, what a beautiful family. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Got a beautiful couple here. Happy New Year to you both. Where are you guys from?
Happy New Year.
Where have you come over from?
Egypt.
Egyptian.
Yeah.
From Nigeria.
And you're really welcome.
Thank you and welcome to you too. Can you tell us one thing you are hoping for in 2025?
And inshallah, peace. Inshallah, all the world.
in Paris.
Bismillah. Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Again in Paris. Again, absolutely.
again
Okay.
Paris.
Absolutely, you will, inshallah. Thank you so much. Well, you just heard from that couple from Egypt there. They're talking about how they would like peace in the Middle East, peace in the world, and her partner said that they are looking forward to coming back to Paris and visiting once more. So much excitement on the streets here, a beautiful firework display. It is just such a magical moment. The new year definitely comes with so much excitement and anticipation and ultimately a lot of positivity for the future. When you're looking forward to 2025, what do you want to achieve in 2025?
I want to everywhere is peace and happy.
Absolutely, peace and happiness for everywhere. What's your name?
My name is Arafat.
Arafat, my name is Femi. So nice to meet you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year in advance. If you can think of one thing you want to happen in 2025, what would that be?
I don't understand.
Definitely getting closer with God. Yeah, that's one of my big goals. And just school and stuff.
Definitely. And what is the goal that you have for 2025?
I want to succeed in school and stuff and have be more closer to my family and stuff. This is my mom right here. Very beautiful mom.
Very, very beautiful.
There's my dad.
Papa! Bienvenue! This is a camera. We are live in Nigeria. Please wave to the camera and say Happy New Year! France is a country that we know has had its own fair share of political woes this year. We do know that the government did collapse a few weeks ago in November and early December, of course, with the ousting of Michel Barnier by Parliament through a vote of no confidence. Essentially what had happened was he had won himself a lot of enemies when he tried to push through a budget without going through the proper protocols. And that obviously triggered a political crisis. But away from national international politics in France. We also know that Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also came to Paris for a 3-day state visit. Well, there you have it. Paris has brought in 2025 and they have brought it in with style. A fantastic firework display is still going on minutes into 2025, and you can imagine that the excitement on the streets has only continued to grow further and further. We have spoken to so many people on the streets of Paris here, stood along the Champs-Élysées and asked them what hopes and dreams they have for 2025, and a recurring theme is that of peace. Many people calling for peace in the Middle East, peace across the world, and then still you have people who are bringing out their families, their newborn babies, their children. So much happiness on the streets, so much excitement as we bring in a new year. I mean, look at those fireworks. It is such a spectacle to behold. And when you look at those lights, you look at the fireworks, you can't help but want to wish yourself and wish your family a prosperous new year. I mean, look at this. What a dream. This is so lovely. It's such a wonderful way to bring in a new year. Many people so excited about what they've been able to witness here. The history, the iconic fireworks is such a palpable feeling here. And as always, Arise News, the world's standout news channel, is here to bring you through it all. From 2025 and beyond, we are all wishing you the greatest year on record. May 2025 be the year where everything falls into place for you, where it all makes sense. We are so excited to continue to take you through the happenings around the world. Only here, only on Arise News. I'm Adefemi Akinsanya. You're watching Arise News from 2025 right here in Paris.
Akinsanya there in Paris. Now she joins us again to review today's newspaper headlines. Adefemi Akinsanya, back to you. Happy New Year. Hello, 2025. Goodbye, 2024.
Happy New Year, Dr. Reuben. Happy New Year, Vimbai. Oh. What a wonderful, wonderful way to start the year. Bonne année à tous. Gosh, I've been working on my French, ladies and gentlemen. I've been working on it, definitely. Happy New Year. Let me take you through the newspapers. And you've already touched on it, but let's start, of course, with this day. This day has a picture of our President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This day has named President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Man of the Year. Tough, resilient, courageous, audacious, and unafraid to take the hard decisions. Those are the words used to describe the president in this historic edition. It's the first edition of the year of the newspaper. That's, of course, going to be a controversial decision to some people, but definitely worthy of a congratulation. So huge congratulations to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we await to hear who else are the winners when it comes to the This Day Awards. We are expecting that to come out tomorrow and, of course, be fully celebrated at the celebration later on this month on the 22nd. But far more festive times ahead. Now, from the This Day front page, let's move over to the New Telegraph this morning. And the New Telegraph is still on the theme of the president and his message for the new year, where he says that Nigerians shouldn't get distracted by politicians. And he declares 2025 a year of great promise. He says that he'll increase access to credit, and he does insist on cutting inflation by half. Moving on to the Punch this morning, and the Punch is actually honing in on how President Tinubu is planning to address hunger with massive food production. Its headline says that supply, the president suggests, will halve inflation, but also hitting back at the president's message. You do have some wording coming from the PDP, the opposition party, especially calling for the president to tackle and share more plans on insecurity, which we know is ravaging many parts of Nigeria as we speak. Moving on to the Nigerian Guardian this morning, and actually the Daily Trust, they both pick up on a story that I wanted to share with you, which actually looks at the comments from Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, as he has denied accusations from the presidency that he threatened President Tinubu over this controversial tax reform bill. Now, speaking through a special advisor, his own special advisor, media, The governor says that he merely highlighted the negative impact he believes the tax reforms were going to create, and that his comments were purely precautionary and meant to protect the interests of the people. The Tribune this morning leads with Nigeria's Labour Congress setting the agenda for 2025, and clearly when it looks at its dealings with the federal government, what the NLC are going to be asking for is a review of wages, especially in light of this hunger situation. We're seeing the hardship, the economic constraints still befalling Nigeria. We can expect the NLC to target the federal government in that direction. Let's take a look at some UK papers now, and this morning the Mirror leads with Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer promising to build a Britain that veterans will be proud of, that the families of veterans, most especially the Second World War veterans, will be proud of. And finally, the Daily Mail actually picks up on what is going to be the third energy price increase. If you remember, during the campaign there was a lot of talk about how Labour wouldn't do such a thing, but now this one starting today, coming into effect today, is the third one since they've come into power, and unfortunately for many people already struggling with their bills this season, there is another hike expected to come in April, coming in this spring. So those are your papers from Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Wishing you all a very, very happy new year, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Firstly, actually, your thoughts on what you saw in Paris with that wonderful fireworks display, and then, of course, the papers too.
All right, Adefemi, thoughts on what I saw in Paris? Listen, first of all, it's just a culture shock for me not to see people in church during crossover. So that was my main takeaways. I hope everybody took some time out to say their prayers while those beautiful fireworks were going off. But, you know, fantastic. I know here in Lagos as well, there were so many spectacular shows, fireworks shows and events and concerts and so forth to usher in the new year. So, you know, it's becoming a global tradition that each city showcases themselves during this period. So always beautiful to see, and nice to see the Parisian version of it. Now, it seems we're going straight into the new year, straight into business. Of course, you've already spoken about President Tinubu being honored with the title of Man of the Year by This Day newspaper. Now, what I like, especially in light of our analysis earlier, what I like is the fact that other newspapers are highlighting some of the issues, very real issues on the ground. There's the issue from the Bauchi state governor, who is saying that the tax reform bills need to be withdrawn. And then NLC chimes into the same issue. And NLC are also talking about, you know, it may be a new year, but it's not happy because we're still facing inflation. Workers' salaries are still being eroded and so forth. So, you know, for me, I take it back to the conversation about ideology, right? If we're celebrating President Tinubu as the Man of the Year, I think that's largely based off of ideology and off of those who believe that the economy should be free market, and there are a lot of advocates for that. But then the reality on the ground is that, is the free market really working out for us? Are we in a position to go forth with these very bold reforms? And the answer, unfortunately, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers show that we are not quite enjoying the benefits of what the world celebrates as these beautiful neoliberal policies. They are not translating into beautiful policies for us yet. Let's be optimistic. Maybe they will soon.
Okay, quickly. Today is New Year Day, the first day of the year 2025. And your report in Paris, you know, holds special significance. The celebration began for this new year from the Christmas island in Kiribati, which was the first place, an island in the central Pacific Ocean where the new year was first declared. All of this is going to go through 39 time zones, ending in the American Samoa and in Hawaii, or in the American islands. But what is definite is what you have pointed out. One, that people celebrate, whether it's in Cairo or Giza in Egypt or Lithuania or Brazil. So the swing keeps moving. And people have expectations about the new year. People celebrate the new year. Two things. Now they celebrate in different ways. You highlighted one of the ways in which they celebrate, New Year resolutions. Now people have been coming up with New Year resolutions since about 3,000, 4,000 years away when the tradition started in the Babylonian festival of Akitu. Babylonia at that time is situated around, the present-day Iraq. And it was a pagan festival. And people will say, next year, this is what I want to do. Because at that time, it was in March, April, and it was associated with the farming season and harvest. And people will say, may this new farming season bring me bountiful harvest. And over the generations, people got used to making resolutions, either breaking them or making new ones. But what is clear is that at the beginning of every new season, human beings all over the world, wherever they may be, want the next year to be better. They have expectations. It's an essential ingredient of humanity. The second part of it is the celebration. And people celebrate in different ways. And they have fetishes that are attached to this. In Japan, for instance, they eat noodles, long noodles. They believe that this will bring them long life. In Paris, they will drink wine. In South of America, they will probably, take peace, which they think will also translate into longevity or prosperity. In the same manner, many Nigerians are going to celebrate today. They will drink, they will make merry because it's a new year. What we can say to the people celebrating in Nigeria is that we should do all of this with moderation, because New Year resolutions are sometimes abandoned if people cannot meet up. What is important is that people should go into the new year with hope and optimism, and hope that they will survive the year. At the end of the day, every family will survive on the basis of what you put into the new year. As for England, I think Sir Keir Starmer has problems. You were quoting Daily Express, Daily Mirror, Times newspaper, Daily Telegraph. They are all talking about how the Labour Party is going down in the polls. The YouGov poll conducted by Times says only about 11% of the people who voted for Keir Starmer and Labour Party still think that he can perform. They think that it's an indolent party. They think it's an irresponsible party, and the Conservatives are jubilating. But Keir Starmer, in his New Year message, says, well, he will rebuild Britain, and he will make sure that the hardworking people of Britain have cause to be happy. And that this year, they will be celebrating all the heroic people who fought during the Second World War 80 years ago. That remains to be seen. That's in Britain. We had earlier on this morning talked about the expectations in Nigeria and President Tinubu's message to Nigerians. Message of hope, message of resilience and determination, as this day newspaper pointed out in declaring him Man of the Year. Thank you very much, Adefemi.
Thank you. Dr. Batti, before you go, I know we're running out of time. But before you go, Dr. Batti, I heard you mention New Year's resolutions. I don't think I heard you share what yours is. Do you have a resolution? Do you have one, Vimbai? What is your New Year's resolution this year?
We'll start with Vimbai. I've not thought of any resolution. I just carry on. I live a routine life. Okay? I talk, I write, I'll try to be better at what I do.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more me time this year. I give so much time to my family this time. This year I really want to try to take more time for myself. That's my New Year's resolution. Very simple.
Well, once again, Happy New Year, Adefemi Akinsanya.